My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff. Today's video is going to be fully about an aspect. This aspect got a huge buff this season with the seasonal artifact perks. This is going to give you absolutely massive damage and crazy damage reduction. I am talking about the threaded Specter, the old strand decoy boy. This is absolutely insane this season. We're going to be able to get 50% damage reduction from severing with this, and also stack woven mail for a 90% damage reduction and be able to put out some massive damage. The threaded Specter, activating your class ability, leaves behind the decoy woven from strand matter. After taking significant damage or when combatants approach, the decoy detonates and it releases threadlings. Very, very important. Keep that one in mind. So this is what it does basically. When you use your dodge or your class ability, it's going to leave that little decoy. The enemies or the enemy, depending how many you've got surrounded, will all focus that basically, which gives you damage reduction anyway because they're not focusing on you. They'll literally focus on that decoy and then they explode into little threadlings. But it is really good just for aggroing enemies. Really, really strong little aspect. I'm going to show you how to get some damage out of it as well with Spirit of the Fur Tracer. Damaging a powerful combatant or a guardian with an ability grants you a temporary damage bonus for weapons matching that ability's elements. If you're on a strand weapon, obviously the decoy is strand. When it gets attacked like so and it hits a powerful target, it will give you 15 seconds of 25% damage increase. You'll see it on that bottom left, strand boost times 4, 25%. So the threaded Specter will actually proc Fur Tracer, which is very, very nice. And I've featured it a couple of times in different builds over the last couple of seasons. Really, really nice little synergy. Obviously with Spirit of the Fur Tracer, any strand ability, as well as the threaded Specter, you've obviously got your melee that will proc your strand weapon boost as well, and your grapple will also proc it. But I just wanted to show you them. The Spirit of the Fur Tracer, really good, but more importantly, works with threaded Specter, which is absolutely insane. So there's a way to get some extra damage. Now, how about damage reduction? Well, via Horde Shuttle, threadlings sever targets that they damage. As we've seen, this decoy will spawn threadlings. Threadlings are going to sever the target, which gives you 40% outgoing damage from that target. But with Disruptor Spike, it actually makes it 50%. So 50% severing debuff on that target, plus the Fur Tracer damage is very, very nice. So you're getting two things for one. You're basically getting extra damage from your threaded Specter for your strand weapons, and on top of that, you're going to sever the target as well. So you gain damage and damage reduction up to 90% with a class item combo that I'm going to show you in a moment, which is really, really nice. Just before that, you can actually get an extra 5% damage, although it's not massive. Strand weapons deal increased damage to strand debuff targets. Obviously, they're going to be debuffed, so you're going to get an extra 5% on top of the 25% from your Fur Tracer. So you just get about a 31% damage increase when they all stack up together, just for using your threaded Specter, which is, again, just a nice little bonus. Like I said, 5% isn't great, but on top of Fur Tracer, it is pretty nice. Because you're going to get it all like damage reduction and get some damage going. Things like Dragon Cult Sickle with Slice and Surrounded, it just fits the bill perfectly. Obviously, Surrounded is going to be great with your Fur Tracer, and you're going to be able to get up close with all that damage reduction. There is other weapons in the game which we'll go into. The Abyssal Edge with Surrounded is a very top-notch sword this season as well. Surrounded, the enhanced version, just gives you absolutely massive damage on top of your Fur Tracer. It just feels nice, and it does enable you to get up close and personal with all the damage reduction that you're going to get. So just for example, put your decoy down, you're going to sever the target, you're going to proc your Fur Tracer and you're surrounded, and you can just get in there, even in end-game activities. I've got some Sunless Cell footage to show you as well. But again, I just want to sort of start building up to some damage reduction. It very easily deals with champions in the hardest lost sector. Your strand, like I said, you've got your strand sword, you've got other strand weapons like strand shotguns. And the other thing, just for a bit of extra severing this season, your threaded Specter will create tangles as well, because you're going to kill them, which will create tangles. And then you've got Vile Weave. Your tangles are severed, reduced tangle cooldown by picking up. So you can also use your tangle, which you're going to create loads of, by the way, with your threaded Specter, like I said. that will also sever targets. So you are literally a walking severing machine, giving you a massive damage reduction. Now, class item combo. Now, if you run Spirit of the Foe Tracer, like we mentioned, this is going to give you a 25% damage increase. But the one to stack with it would be Spirit of the Cytarachne. Every time you use a grenade, any grenade, it's going to give you Woven Mail. So you're going to get 40% damage reduction from your Woven Mail, plus all the severing, whether you use that from your Tangles or your Threaded Specter. And it's just an absolute joke how much damage reduction this gives you, because you're going to get 40% from your Woven Mail every time you use a grenade, and all that severing, up to 50% outgoing damage reduction from them targets, and you are an absolute tank. And on top of that, like I've said a couple of times, you're going to get all that extra damage from your Foe Tracer as well, plus weapon perks like Surrounded, or even fusion rifles and shotguns, which we'll go into. Just got other few options to show you as well. But as you can see here, I am literally running about amongst these enemies in a 20-50 loss sector, and it's just an absolute joke. Obviously, I'm on Prismatic Hunter, so you've got your Starless Executioner, which we're proccing infinitely as well because of all the debuffs. So I've got some sort of Sunless Cell to show you. Again, Tangle to sever, get up close, get your decoy down. All them enemies are going to focus on that decoy. You are literally unkillable with this. It is so good. Look at the state of this. You can't do this with many other builds in the game. Face tanking ogres in the Sunless Cell. These yellow bars are pretty tanky and they put out some nice damage. And you've also got your Silk Strike as a backup, which is just an absolutely insane super, but we're not going to go into that too much. We're just going to focus, before I get carried away, on the decoy effects. Like I said, a massive buff this season with all the seasonal artifact perks. Look at the state of that. He's not bothered about me. He's severed. Get up there with your sword or another weapon. So speaking of other weapons that work really nicely with this particular setup, something like Barrow Dyad is obviously really good. You're going to get all that extra damage from your Foe Tracer. Scatter Signal works absolutely brilliantly with this as well, because you've got your control base, you've got particle deconstruction this season as well. Other ones, Unsworn with the Trace Rifle seasonal artifact perks as well, get up to 50% damage increase from Harsh Refraction. These are all just options. You've even got Rocket Launcher. You could go into something like a Crown and Jewel Lock with your Perpetual Destruction. So just a nice little video that I haven't really seen like a lot of people talking about this Threaded Specter and how good it is this season. It is already good, like anyway, but just with all them seasonal artifact perks, you are literally getting so much damage reduction with it, with the Severing and with the Foe Tracer Cytarachne combo. You're covered with both things, damage reduction and a load of outgoing damage as well. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I just wanted to demonstrate how good it was this season. We've still got quite a few months to go as far as I know, so get on this type of build. Get your Foe Tracer procced if you've got that combo. Even the exotic helmet will work fine as well if you don't have the class item combo. It's still pretty good. Let me know what you think of this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.